Welcome to Playfully Orange, our conversations about arts and culture here in Central Florida, every Thursday at 1 o'clock going live. And today my guest is Beverly Page. Welcome, Beverly.
Hi there.
And Beverly, you
Thanks for
have
having
been,
me.
what's that?
I said, thanks for having me.
Oh, certainly glad to have you here. You have been a fixture for the last decade or more here in Central Florida with the
Yeah.
Chocolate Nutcracker, among other work that you're doing. So let me start with, where did you grow up?
Okay. Well, I grew up in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Orangeburg, South Carolina is about 40 miles outside of Columbia, South Carolina. And that's where I received my formal education at South Carolina State University. I received both my bachelor's and my master's degree in drama and communications. I went on after that and I studied theater directing at Furman University. And I received my educational leadership and supervision credentials from Winthrop University. So I grew up in the South Carolina area.
Well, you got a lot of education there. What led you to go into theater?
Well, my mom was a big proponent of the arts, and being a single parent with 5 children, she would often work extra hours so that she could take us to see Broadway plays because her job would afford her that. She worked in Jersey City. So as a very young child, I got an opportunity to go to a place that I probably would never have had the opportunity if her workplace didn't provide her that opportunity. So that's how I got into theater. And then I studied it when I went to college. I majored in drama. Mhm.
And what brought you to Central Florida?
My daughter, at the time, my daughter was studying at the South Carolina Governor's School. The South Carolina Governor's School had created a school for 200 artistically talented children. And my daughter was one of those students. But my daughter was in the drama program, such as I was, but she had aspirations to be in film. So I would try to find opportunities for her to pursue her film dream. And the Disney had a film camp, and one summer I drove her down here to be a part of that 2-week film program. Loved it. Went back to South Carolina, and the rest is history. I'm here.
So that was your inspiration to move to Central Florida, having spent those 2 weeks here?
Absolutely. And also just exploring the community and getting involved. I was here for 2 weeks and I was uniquely connected to a lot of people that were already here. So I decided that this would be a good change for me. And that's how I ended up in Florida, Orlando.
What was your impression of our arts and cultural scene when you got here?
Oh my goodness. When you think about Orlando and you're in the number one tourist destination in the world, Disney World. And let me tell you, I love Disney World. I even walk the parks now, just so proud to be on that site. So, that's what impressed me. It didn't matter what your level of artistic exploration was. You could go anywhere in Central Florida and actually thrive in the arts. And that's what I love about it.
Well, what led you to create the Orlando Community Arts?
Well, I definitely wanted to, I love to write and I love to write grants. And I knew that if I was going to be a part of the arts community, I needed to have an organization that was reflective of the arts. And also, I needed one that had a 501c3. So that was why I focused on creating Orlando Community Arts. And at the time, I had a universal preschool for the performing arts, which I had created. So I wanted to give these young people a more definitive opportunity to explore the arts, because many of these children, they were coming to the preschool, at a reduced rate, but I wanted to further their experience for it to not just be a preschool, but to be one where they could experience the arts. And we were able to do that. Mm-hmm.
And how did that lead to creating Clare and the Chocolate Nutcracker?
Well, I escorted several of the kids to see the Central Florida Ballet Nutcracker, and also the um, the Orlando Ballet's Nutcracker. And as a result of that, the kids were really asking me a lot of questions about the Nutcracker, and they wanted to know, how could they be a part of, the Nutcracker? And I knew, well, unless they were actually a part of that program and they had the experience, that was not going to be, part of their experience. So I knew if I created and I wrote the story, that I could write it so that these children could also be a part of it. So I wanted to bring more diversity to the to the Nutcracker, because it is an adaptation of the original Nutcracker. So it was the children that inspired me.
And how many years have you been doing that now?
Well, Clare and the Chocolate Nutcracker was formally established in 2012. And at that time, I went ahead and received a U.S. patent and trademark for the show itself. So that happened in 2012. Mm-hmm.
And it has...
we're still performing. During COVID, we didn't do the show, but I was able to develop products for the show, and you can probably see them behind me. I have Nutcracker now, and that was one of the way that I could, generate some additional funding to support the show. And all the proceeds from those sales that are now on Etsy.com and Walmart.com goes directly to the show to help support the artists that are training the children.
And have any other companies, or have you worked at letting other companies know about your story and taking that on?
Oh, absolutely. Currently, I have about 12 sponsors already, and I like it.
For here, you mean, or 12 companies elsewhere doing it here?
No, I'm talking. Oh, you're saying doing the show itself? No, I've not collaborated with other companies to do the show itself. I have an agent, and my literary agent is the one that, will seek other opportunities for Clare and the Chocolate Nutcracker. And currently we are looking to further the book into either an animation or a film product. But I do have an agent.
Mm-hmm. Then your daughter might be able to get involved.
Oh yes, my daughter is involved. Yes, but we have some things on the horizon, but until my agent says it's time to announce it. But we're excited about the direction that it's going.
All right. And other than Clare and the Chocolate Nutcracker, have you been producing other arts in the area?
No, I'm an educator, Terry. I work for the Orange County Public Schools. I work in ESE procedures and policy. So, I only get the summers to really, fine tune the program, because it begins in November. So it's a show that, requires a lot of, time, and we do it as a collaborative partner with other dance groups in the community.
Right. Great. Well, Beverly, we're glad that you have found Orlando as your home, and that you have brought to us Clare and the Chocolate Nutcracker. Thanks for joining me today. And yes, thank you to all our guests that are watching. Please join us each Thursday at 1 o'clock for conversations with different people about arts and culture. I also do Diverse Orange on Tuesdays, talking about diversity in Central Florida. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.